Alrighty, fifth graders, we are heading towards our last lesson of the school year. We're going to look at Mission 6, Lesson 10 today. We are looking at continuing with the idea of rules in order to complete a coordinate chart for X and Y coordinates. So our rule for this first question is Y is 2 more than 3 times X. So if X here is 0 times 3 is 0. Plus 2 gives me 2. So then my X coordinate is 0, comma 2. All right, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 gives me 5. So then I have 1, comma 5 for this one. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 gives me 8. So then I'm at 2, comma 8. So again, make sure that you're reading these rules really carefully because if you misread it at all or you're not understanding it completely, you're going to get the wrong answer because you're not going to be doing the right equation. Alright, so then I think it's probably going to have us plot. Yes. Alright, so let's look at 0. So we're not going anywhere on our x-axis. We're going up 2 for our first one. So I'm going to plot my first point there. 0, comma 2. 1. So notice this is counting by 2's. 2, 4, 6. So that means that my in-between lines are my odd numbers. 1, 3, 5. So if I'm at 1, comma 5, then my point is going to be plotted here. 2, comma 8. I'm here. So notice if I were to draw a straight line diagonally, I would pass through each of these points. When we follow the rule correctly, that is the result of our line when we plot our points on a coordinate chart. Alright, so for each x coordinate, what is the corresponding y on line E? So we've got 3. Alright, so we're counting by 2's again here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 3, comma, what? So if I come up to my line and I come over here to my y, I fall between 4 and 6. And I get 5 because again these in between lines are odd numbers, so 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now I'm coming over here to my 5, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my x, and I'm coming up to where I meet the line, which is here. And if I look at this, okay, if I were to draw a straight line across here, this point falls between 6 and 8. So again, my odd number that falls in there is 7. Okay. And then we're here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's my 6. Again, I come up to meet my line. I'm right on the line this time, so I'm not at an odd number, I'm at an even number, and I get 8. So let's check our answers. Yes. Alright, so now we're just filling out our chart with our numbers. 3, comma 5, 5, comma 7, 6, comma 8. Alright, so then we're writing a rule to describe line E. So what we're looking at is we want to look at our numbers here. Okay, how many are we consistently adding the same number to our x? Well, yes. So here, my x is 3. 3 plus what will give me 5? 2. 5 plus 2 gives me 7. 6 plus 2 gives me 8. So therefore, y is 2 more than x. And again, it has to be true for all of our coordinates that fall on this line. And we can check that. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 2 is 8. So again, it works for all three. Therefore, that is my rule. All right, as we keep moving forward, for each x coordinate, what is the corresponding y coordinate on line F? So again, we're doing the same thing here. Our coordinate plane is the exact same. We're going by 2, so our in-betweens are our odd numbers. So here's our 3 coming to meet our line. If we draw a line straight across to meet our y-axis, we fall onto our 1. Okay, coming here, we got 6 coming up to our line. We fall right on the line. We've got 2. And then 9 is between 8 and 10. Come up here, we're between the 2 and the 4. So 2, 3, 4, if we just count right up. Okay, and I'm going to assume that we're going to have to write a rule for this after we put our pairs together. So 3, 1, 6, 2, 9, 3. Yeah, so we're writing a rule. So if we look at this, okay, y increases by 1 each time, but x increases by 3 each time. So if we look at our words, we've got times, more than, 3, 4, multiply, divided by, or x divided by y is 1/3. So I like the idea of using 1/3 because 1 is 1/3 of 3, 2 is 1/3 of 6, 3 is 1/3 of 9. So we could say y is 1/3. Let's reword this. Let's say x divided by 1/3 is y. Let's check that. No. So probably got to change our wording here. Let's clear this out. Y is 1/3. Sometimes it's tricky. You got to play around with the wording. Yeah, see, it's gonna be weird. So let's go ahead and get a boost because I want to make sure this is actually a really good thing because I want to make sure you guys understand how to word this correctly because there's several different ways you could put it. So this says y is 1/3 times x. So there we go. That's the word we were missing, times. All right, and then what is true? Y is 1/3 times x. So for all of these, we can say y is 1/3 times x. So then this boost has helped show me exactly what wording I need as I go in to describe y is 1/3 times x. So again, I had the right concept, just didn't have the right wording that Zern was looking for. So if you need a boost, don't be afraid to get that and then use it to help you. So we're probably going to have to go back through this again. Yep, so our rule is going to be a little bit different this time. So 2 here, come up here, I have 1. So 2, 1, 4 here, come up to meet my line, I'm on the 2. And 6, come up here, I'm on the 3. So notice with this one, we're not in thirds, but we're actually in halves. So we're going to be using halves instead of 1/3 as our fraction for this one. So make sure that you're not, if you do get that boost, that you're not just reusing that same number from the first set, but that you are actually using the correct one. So here we go. I'm going to do this correctly this time. Y is 1/2 times x. There we go. So again, had the right concept, know I needed fractions, just didn't have the right wording. So make sure you get that wording correct for Zern. Come on. There we go. All right, last one. Which line is parallel to line P? Well, here's line P. And remember, perpendicular are lines that intersect. So this line intersects with both line P and C. Okay, and eventually if we were to draw line A and line B out, they would eventually intersect due to the angle of line A. Parallel lines never intersect and run the same direction. Excuse me. Excuse me. So we look at this, line P and line C are parallel. All right, so for each x coordinate, what is the corresponding y coordinate on line C? So again, make sure you're reading carefully. We're not looking at line P, we're looking at line C. So 3, 1, that would be here. We've got 4, 2. Come up here, we've got 6, 4. And then if we come to 7, we've got 7, 5. All right. Three, 1, so just filling in my boxes. 6, 4, 7, 5. And that's a quick step, but make sure you get your numbers correct. All right, so now we're adding or writing a rule to describe line C. So y is 2 more than x. So if I look at this, oh, nope, not more than, less than. So again, make sure I've got my right answer. So 3 minus 2 gives me 1, 4 minus 2 gives me 2, or sorry, 3 minus 1 gives me 2, 4 minus 2 gives me 2, 6 minus 4 gives me 2, and 7 minus 5 gives me 2. So I can tell that there's 2 difference between each of my coordinates. So my x coordinate and my y coordinate. So y is 2 less than x. I'm sure I could probably also say x is 2 more than y, and that would probably be acceptable too, because that statement is correct. If my x is 7, then it's 2 more than my y, so therefore my y would be 5. There we go. Alrighty guys, let me know if you have any questions. Reach out on Dojo, through email or my phone. If you have my phone number, you can feel free to message me. Keep up the good work. We've just got a couple of days left. Keep pushing through until the very end.